please make your
Sorry?
voice louder and
Opo.
clearer? So it's 78-22 and 78 is locally produced or
Locally
imported?
produced, and of course 22% ang ating projected na ini-import. So by that number po, mas malaki po talaga yung yung impact ng local.
So ulitin po natin, sa konsumo ng bigas sa Pilipinas, if we talk about the whole pie, 78% ng kinukonsumo ng Pilipinas, ng Pilipino, ay nanggagaling sa locally produced rice,
Opo.
while 22% 22% is coming from imported rice. Do you confirm that?
Yes, ma'am,
DA?
that's based on data po.
Okay. So sa ganong sitwasyon, sino po ang nagde-determine ng presyo? Yung locally produced rice or yung imported rice?
Hindi po yung producer ng rice, kundi yung pong merong mas malaking elbow room, old leg room, or bargaining power in the chain, which is normally the ones in between the consumer and the farmer.
Sir, Mr. Chair, can we request our resource person to answer direct to the point? Who is the major influencer of the price of rice?
I would say it's the trader and those who are in the processing.
By processing, you mean the millers?
The millers, opo.
Ibig sabihin yung mga kapitalista ng ating farmers.
Yun po yung sa tingin namin na mas may malaking influensya sa ngayon.
Ilan po ang total consumption ng bigas ng buong Pilipinas on an annual basis?
Kukunin po namin, ma'am, para accurate lang po yung figure.
Can you confirm the figure of 16 million metric tons?
That's more or less the figure that we have, Madam Chair.
Sorry, that's...
Mr. Chair, with all the indulgence of Congarin, yung mga sagot kasi na more or less, i-compute pa namin. Tagal na sa DA to, Mr. Chair, ba't ganun yung mga sagot nila? More or less, ko-compute namin. Di ba bago sila pumunta dito, Mr. Chair, it's very unfair for Congarin na ganun sagot niyo.
Precisely, Mr. Chair, and you got it right.
Opo.
I really do not want to ask questions anymore, but I cannot feel the sincerity of the DA family, not the secretary, but the other representatives of the Department of Agriculture who has been frequently present in the Quintacom. Hindi po kasi ibig sabihin na kapag present kayo dito ay okay na. Ang kailangan natin ay yung puso at totoo yung intensyon na ibaba yung presyo ng bigas. Because it's a basic question at paulit-ulit na tinatanong yon. How much is our consumption of rice? I actually heard the figure of 16 million metric tons, I think, if I remember it right, from Secretary Kiko Laurel earlier today in Bulacan. So please confirm that kasi baka ibang sinasabi niya, iba naman ang sinasabi niyo.
Nasaan yun?
Eh di wala tayong solusyon dito.
Ang total po ay 16,553,247 total utilization po. Kung saan 14,939,541 po yung para sa food.
Okay. Thank you for that, Mr. Chair. So, ang ibig sabihin, 78% ng kinakain ng mga Pilipino na bigas ay nanggaling sa ating local farmers. 22% ang nanggaling sa imported. And if you talk about business-wise, it simply means, ang ibig sabihin noon, yung player, yung nagdidikta ng presyo, ay ang local na presyo. Unless the importers will not be in cahoots with the financiers of the local farmers and sell their price based on an acceptable profit from the landed cost. Ang ibig sabihin, dapat yung 22%, and that is how many million metric tons?
Nung 2023 po is 3.611,024.
Sorry, 6.
Apo. 3.6 po. And ngayon po naman, 2024, ang projected po is 4.6.
4.6 million metric tons. So
Apo.
that's roughly 46 million kilos.
Kilos, opo.
Tama po?
Opo.
Okay. Kaya ako ito pinupunto, Mr. Chair, kasi napaka-importante ng role ng NIA. Because if NIA can improve the efficiency of our farmers, then we will have a partial solution to the problem. Next, I believe that NIA was orienting us earlier, Mr. Chair, about the contract growing scheme nung palay. Bakit po nito ginagawa? Dahil nakita po dun sa previous Quintacom hearings na ang nagiging problema, yung farmers actually, konti ang kinikita, yung totoong farmers. Kasi, ang nangyayari ngayon, yung mga farmers, kontrolado na sila ng mga kapitalista who are taking advantage of them. Ibig sabihin, sila ang nagbibigay ng binhi, farm inputs, sila nagkakapital, at obligado silang yung mga farmers na sa kanila din ibenta. Can we confirm this from Administrator Guillen?
Yes, ma'am. Tama po kayo. In fact, again, ang talagang tungo po ng programa ng contract farming, simula pa lang po yun. Pero ang end goal po niya is to empower yung ating mga farmers para hindi na lang palay ang ibenta kundi bigas. Yung makapture ba nila?
Ibig sabihin, yung role ng mga kapitalista ay ginagampanan nyo pakonti-konti para malaki ang kita ng totoo, real farmers, and they will not be bound or tied by the dictates of those who would lend them farm inputs and seeds.
Tama po yan, ma'am. Kaya nga sinisikap namin magtayo ng isang cooperative per town. Dahil tignan nyo po, kung merong sariling cooperative ang ating mga farmers, ma-empower natin sila doon, hindi naman din natin mawawala yung mga traders, nandiyan pa rin sila. Po. Kasi, again, ang target natin would be, in the end, complementation ng hindi naman competition talaga na matindi. Pero ang
Ang ibig nyo lang po sabihin is dahil yung farmer ay nakatali. Because napipilitan silang umutang ng napakalaki ng interest at hindi sila pwedeng magbenta ng tamang presyo ng kanilang palay. Kaya lubog na sila sa utang, ang liit pa ng kita, pero yung kumikita, hindi masyadong naghihirap. Kaya ito ngayon ang pinapasok ng NIA sa inyong rice contract growing program. Do we get it right, Mr. Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
Admin Guillen?
Actually,
In other words, will you confirm my statement that there is apparent collusion among financiers of our local farmers? Because they're controlling 78% of the rice being consumed by the Filipinos.
Well, may control kasi sila, ma'am, dahil,
Ano po yun, sir?
pero kung ganito, ma'am,
Hindi, will you confirm it or will you say it's not happening?
well, sana nakikita natin, ma'am, nangyayari dahil
Nangyayari siya. Kaya nga pinapasok nyo ito. Let me segue into my next question. Mr. Chair, may we ask DA, what is the main function of the NFA or the National Food Authority? Ginugol ko nga dito kaya lang kailangan ko yung confirmation nyo.
Ma'am, sa ngayon po, primarily buffer stocking.
It says protecting the interests of both rice farmers and consumers by ensuring food security of the country and maintaining an optimal level of rice grain inventory to be sourced from local farmers.
Which
Tama
is
po ba
buffer
yun?
stocking. Opo.
Okay. So that is still their main function. Mr. Chair, balikan ko lang po ang previous Quintacom hearing. Nakitaan po ng ebidensya na nung tinanggal ang power ng NFA na lumaro sa market by having NFA rice retailers, nagkandaletse-letse ang presyo ng bigas. Can the DA family confirm this?
Malinaw po dun sa lumalabas sa hearing.
Is it a yes or is it a no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It's a yes. Okay. 2019, nagkaroon tayo ng rice tarification law. Ang ganda ng sinabing hinaing ng batas yung imported rice, lalagyan ng malaking buwis na taripa ng 35% para hindi maging kawawa yung ating local farmers. Pero may siningit na provision na wala sa Kongreso at ang nakalagay doon ay tatanggalan ng power ang NFA na magbenta ng bigas sa public markets. Can DA confirm this, Mr. Chair?
Yun po yung batas. Opo.
Is it a yes or a no?
It is a yes.
Okay. Nung tinanggal yung poder na yun sa NFA, can you confirm that what we are seeing is a collusion, price manipulation among the middlemen and the rice traders?
Right now, ma'am, wala po kami sa position. Ako, personally, to confirm
Hindi,
that.
sa pananaw nyo
Mr. Chair,
na.
again with the indulgence of Congresswoman Garin, these gentlemen had been with the Department of Agriculture for quite some time. And it seems that they're afraid to answer, Mr. Chair. It's either they're afraid to answer or they have done nothing yet, Mr. Chair, on the issues that were raised by Congarin. Let me warn them, Mr. Chair, that if ever they will not be able to answer Congarin, somebody might spend Christmas in the House of Representatives, Mr. Chair.
Madam Chair, the question is asking for a conclusion.
Mr. Chair, I'm not asking for a conclusion. Let me reiterate my question. And Mr. Chair, with due indulgence, and I hope the DA family will understand this, the reason why we keep on asking this, kasi kailangan kasi makita ng taong bayan na seryoso kayo na ipababa natin ang presyo ng bigas by not tolerating the apparent collusion that is happening among the middlemen. Kanina, klarong-klaro na sinabi ng ating mga wholesalers before our secretary, your boss, Secretary Kiko Laurel, lahat sila, hindi isa, hindi dalawa, lahat sila na nandun sa intercity. Pare-pareho sila ng sinabi. And we even have the list of prices that they were selling to retailers and middlemen. At ang sinasabi nila, ang presyo nila ay nasa 38 to 40 kilos and even 45 per kilo. So ang ibig natin sabihin dito, Mr. Chair, kapag hindi natin nakikita yung political will, hindi matatakot yung ating mga nagsasabuatan sa baba. So to reiterate, I mean, we have here a great economist and a former president who also led this country and who understands the demand for rice and the pricing of rice. At meron ding mga ginawa nung kapanahonan ni Ma'am, kaya nakita naman natin yung paglaro ng presyo ng bigas. So we go back. When the NFA was barred from selling through NFA rice retailers in the public market, can you say that somehow the greatest contributor to increase in the cost of price is the apparent collusion among middlemen, resulting to a lower price among the wholesalers, but a very big increase in price sa retailer? To quote Mr. Chair, ang sinasabi kanina ng mga wholesalers, hindi namin maintindihan kung ano ang nangyayari. Kasi ang bentahan namin ay nasa 38 hanggang 48 pesos. Maximum na yan, glutinous rice na yan. Pero nabibenta siya sa merkado at 60 pesos. The selling price is somewhere around 50 to 60 pesos. And everybody was confirming that. So may we again ask, Mr. Chair, the Department of Agriculture, nung tinanggalan ng power ang NFA na magbenta through NFA rice retailers in the public markets, nagkaroon ba ng tila abuso sa baba at collusion sa mga middleman na parang ang nangyayari is when the cat is away, the mouse will play. Kaya kanya-kanya silang pataasan ng presyo.
Please respond, DA.
Yes, there is an apparent collusion given the scenario that we've discussed, Madam Chair.
Mr. Chair, that's why I'm asking these questions again. Because we need to have greater voices, not only from members of Congress, but from the DA family themselves who are overseeing these things, and DTI, if we have a DTI rep here, and even the wholesalers, importers, farmers, and retailers. Kasi ang daming napagbibintangan dahil hindi pa kasing lakas ang boses nyo na aminin na may problema para magkaroon ng amendment ng batas agad-agad at mabigyan ito ng long-term solution. But let me go back, Mr. Chair. Nung nagkaroon ng panukalang batas na ito, na ang nangyari, problemado ang driver kasi may mga akusasyon sa NFA, ang ginawa ay hinulog ang bus. So if there is a bus with a problematic driver, you change the driver. You don't ban the bus. Kasi wala nang masasakyan. Ang nangyari dito, yes, nagkaroon ng mga akusasyon, pero pinatay ang kapangyarihan ng NFA na magkaroon ng impluensya sa market price. And Mr. Chair, may we appeal to the DA family to be noisier. Kasi, hindi kasi pwedeng hindi nyo sinasabi yung katotohanan na nagkakaproblema kayo and we end up blaming each other. It will be really better, Mr. Chair, if DA will do away with all their fears and call or label an apple, that this problem cannot be solved. It will be a repeating problem unless the government will be given an opportunity to enter the market once there are red flags on possible price collusion. Can we get that assurance from the Department of Agriculture?
Yes, yes, Madam Chair. In fact, last hearing po, binanggit po ng aming sekretaryo na hinihingi lang niya sa Kongreso na payagan na mabigyan ng pagkakataon ang Department of Agriculture at ganun din ang NFA na makapag-intervene sa merkado sa mga ganitong
Mr.
sitwasyon.
Chair, for the record, Congress has always been supportive of that. Pero pagdating sa Senado, tila medyo natatameme kayo, kaya yung ginagawang batas ng Kongreso ay naiibsan. Kaya kailangan nyong sabihin na merong malaking problema. To cite an example, Mr. Chair, may we inquire from the DA family, nung kapanahunan, nung mga nakaraang mga taon before 2019, magkano po ang increase sa per kilo ng bigas from the NFA warehouse to the rice retailer in the public market?
Mr. Chair.
Please respond, yes.
Ayun pong presyo ng NFA rice prior to RTL.
No, I'm referring to magkano ang
Margin po.
Margin, yeah.
2 pesos po ang prescribed
2
margin.
pesos per kilo. So if NFA is selling it at 25 pesos to the public market vendors, the market vendors that are accredited by NFA are selling it at 27 pesos. Subalit, Mr. Chair, ipinakita nung nakaraang Kintakom na nung binili, nawalan na nga ng poder. Pero siyempre, andun yung bigas. So binenta nila, not through bidding, but through negotiated procurement, to big businessmen, to wholesalers who bought it at 25 pesos and sold it retail at 45 pesos. Yung 2 pesos per kilo na tubo ay naging 20 pesos. At alam niya ng DA. Eh bakit hindi natin ito ilatag sa Senado? Because I'm sure, Mr. Chairman, members of Senate would do their share. If the DA family will be very transparent in telling them that there is a big problem. Hindi kasi pwedeng dito sasabihin nyo, ay, oo, may problem. Pero pagdating naman doon sa kabila, sige, bahala na po kayo. Kasi trabaho nyo to eh. And I can see Admin Guillen nodding his head. Because that's the problem. Alam ba nila na ang nangyayari, yung 25 pesos na bigas ng NFA ay binibenta sa merkado ng 45 to 50 pesos? And this is something that you should convey. We will also try to do our part, but you have to play your role. Can we get that assurance from the DA family, Mr. Chair?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Maraming salamat po. Labs na labs talaga namin kayo. Mr. Chair, let me go back to the last Quintacom hearing. And during that hearing, I had very high regard to Admin Larry Lacson. Kung ko po siya nakilala, and he was telling us that he has been in government for long. And the minutes will bear it out, Mr. Chair, when he said, problema talaga nung nawalan na sila ng poder na magbenta through NFA rice retailers kasi nagsasabwatan sa baba sa public markets, wala na silang magawa. And we asked him, how can we help? And they said, amend the law. But then he added something. And I clearly remember that. Ang sabi niya, Mr. Chair, may problema nga kami eh. We have approximately 5.6 million to 6 million metric tons of aging rice. And we don't know how to dispose of that if we will not be authorized by law. Can we confirm this, Mr. Chair, from Admin Lacson?
Please respond, yes.
Mr. Chair, tama po, nabanggit ko, meron po kaming stocks na 5.55 million bags, not metric tons, bags of equivalent milled rice.
So this is bags,
Bags po ito.
not metric tons.
Not,
Okay.
Bags po.
Okay. And then you should have corrected that when we were doing the computation. Because we even computed that at around 275 million kilos, remember?
Nasa sa 275,000 metric tons.
Okay. Ulitin natin, sorry. Ulitin natin. Teka.
Tama po
bumagsak
yun sa inyo, kilos lang po.
Kilos, okay. So meron kayong 5,600,000 sacks at 50 kilos. That's 280 million kilos. Mababa pala yung low-bat siguro yung computer, yung calculator ko because it was at 275 kilos. I remember that. Remember. And then we asked you, can we flood the market with your 275 million kilos so that all these traders and hoarders will bring out their rice and reduce their price? And your response was, Mr. Chair, baka naman po pwedeng in tranches. And I asked you, how much will you commit? And you gave a commitment of 25 million kilos per month. Do you confirm that, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, ang nare-recall ko, we can review the minutes. I mentioned about ideally 25,000 metric tons yung nilalabas ni NFA sa merkado para po yung aming stocks na ira-round up ko na po, 300,000 metric tons ang buffer stock ni NFA. Divided by 12, that's 25,000 metric tons a month.
Yeah, Mr. Chair,
for us
I
to-
believe we have the records
Yes,
of the Secretariat. You mentioned even 6 months. That's why we divided it by 6 months. And we asked you about 25 million. Sabi mo, maski 25 million kilos, siguro.
Tama po yun, 25 million kilos or 25,000 metric tons per month. Pero ito po, I think the discussion was on the premise na pag nabigyan kami ng kakayahan makapagbenta sa market, ito po yung kaya naming gawin.
Mr. Chair, let me move further. During that discussion, ASEC Bebang of DA handling the Kadiwa was there. And we were discussing the fact that NFA cannot sell through their rice retailers. And then I asked, what if we used Kadiwa? Can NFA sell to Kadiwa? And the answer was yes. And that's why the Kadiwa representative through ASEC Bebang came here. And ASEC Bebang was saying, kaya namin pero konti lang yung aming Kadiwa centers. And then I further requested and suggested, will it be possible that instead of NFA having NFA rice retailers, it will now be Kadiwa accredited rice retailers so that NFA is not selling to the public markets, but Kadiwa is doing the task, but Kadiwa will be sourcing it out from NFA. And that was the discussion. Remember?
Mr.
Yes,
Chair.
please respond.
Opo, during the separate meeting, yun po
No,
yung
no, no,
suggestion.
no. I was referring to the
No.
Quintacom meeting. I will go to that separate meeting later.
We are referring to, and I believe si Asek Bebang was referring to dun sa ating aging stocks na binebenta sa Kadiwa. Yun
Yeah,
po,
precisely,
229.
but we got the figures from you. And then Asek Bebang was saying, baka mga ilangan kami ng tulong sa logistics. And then we even discussed further. I even had a motion, Mr. Chair, and that is on the records, that the poorest, the areas with a higher incidence of poverty be prioritized. And that's why my motion was to direct the Department of Agriculture to immediately collaborate between NFA, Kadiwa, and for Kadiwa to immediately identify Kadiwa rice retailers taking off from the abandoned list of NFA rice retailers duly vetted and to dispose or to flood the market with NFA or Kadiwa rice sold at 33 pesos per kilo because, as what NFA has told us, they were selling it at 29 pesos per kilo. Kadiwa, Asek Bebang even manifested they will not charge anything and they will have a pass-on to the rice retailers. Kasi ang
Congressman
punto
Garin,
dito,
yes.
Mr. Chair, why will I have a motion and everybody, it was a long discussion. Ang tagal nun, paikot-ikot kung anong gagawin. So moving forward, Mr. Chair, to take off from that meeting, there was a smaller meeting with members of Congress. Initially, the plan was NCR, but we ended up, kasi ako nga ang sabi ko, teka, let's have pilot areas muna para matest muna. And we identified Quezon City and Manila. And the meeting was held yesterday with the presence of NFA and Asek Bebang. And we were actually requesting, baka naman kasi December, mataas ang consumption ng rice. Can we request that the 25 million kilos per month be increased to 50 million kilos only for December and January? Because latter part of February, may harvest ulit yan, pwede nang ibaba. Para yung mga naka-hoard at naka-stock na mga bigas ngayon ay magsilabasan at a reduced cost. And the meeting ended very well. And the only problem was how can Congress help in terms of logistics? And they even recommended that we tap PhilPost. And we also did that. But later in the day, Mr. Chair, we were surprised na nagpalit ng isip si Admin Lacson by saying that maybe we can just have 5 million kilos because, if I may quote, he kept on going back to the fact that we need to amend the law first before we can play a role in the market price. Ang ibig lang po dito sabihin, Mr. Chair, tila hindi tayo dito siniseryoso ng NFA. That's why, Mr. Chair, much as I really wanted to be patient, tila hindi po maganda na yung sagot ng NFA noong mga nakaraan na Quintacom at sagot niya rin sa mga small meetings that happened yesterday at the office of the Speaker apparently suddenly changed overnight.
Mr.
Anong
Chairman,
nangyari?
I think NFA Administrator Larry Lacson is quite reluctant, Mr. Chair, because there is a prejudicial question. If the pleasure of Congresswoman Garin was to accredit, Kadiwa centers instead of having NFA retail centers,